The point is that they're making reforms that we don't have here. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I can tell you that there's a lot of people in this country that wish we had a leader who spoke 5 languages and was a black belt in multiple martial arts and was actually asserting the traditional alpha male role of a leader instead of being
instead of trying to teach 5-year-olds how to have gay sex.
Yes, exactly. That's my point exactly. I see them embracing the traditional American
That's because they hit bottom after 80 years of communism. They found out what it's all about. They went there, so they're desperately trying to embrace their Russian culture, John Wayne, whatever you want to call it. And we're sitting there going, oh, we know you're really communist. We know you're dirty. We're going to have a new Cold War. While our government funds Al-Qaeda, lowers the borders, tries to screw up our kids. Absolutely. It's sick. It's sick. And again, it doesn't mean Russia's good. They're unbelievably corrupt. They're trying to be better, though. We'll be right back with more of your calls. Stay with us. We'll be back. I've always believed in nutrition and herbs. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Sourced from powerful organic herbs, harvested around the planet, and then concentrated for maximum potency.
I just received my Male Vitality about 3 days ago, and I must say, that is good stuff.
After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic Super Male Vitality formula. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose.
I jump out of bed ready to fight these criminals every day. I look forward to waking up and taking my Super Male Vitality and getting the day started.
It's not just the Super Male Vitality. All the products at InfoWarsLife.com are simply amazing. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life. Alex Jones here for Infowars.com. In the month of July, we have got giant specials on everything at MadeIn1776.com. The already discounted Made in 1776 t-shirts are only $17.76. We have the new belt buckles that in only 2 weeks of sale are very close to selling out. There's only 500 of each. We're talking about Made in America belt buckles in nickeled brass. This is more than a summer blowout special. This is a new declaration of independence. But to expand the InfoWar, we're offering the equivalent of more than 5 months free right now when you get a membership at PrisonPlanet.tv for a limited time, only $39.95 a year. That's more than 5 months free off the regular price. Not just this July 4th weekend, but the entire month of July at MadeIn1776.com. Molon Labe, you can take my gun from my cold, dead hands. I began to get into iodine a few years ago because it was helping me and my family so much get healthy and detoxify. Most people know that iodine deficiency has been a crisis around the world. Iodine is key to so many of the body's functions, especially the thyroid. I discovered a product being developed by Dr. Group. You now know it as Survival Shield True Nascent Iodine that your body can really absorb. Then, about a year ago, he said, listen, if you think this is powerful, I'm going to come out with rare earth, deep earth crystals. And the results that I personally have had have been life-changing. Nobody else has got iodine based on these pure crystals, ladies and gentlemen. This is innovating, and the best part is it helps fund Infowars.com, the radio show, the TV show, the whole media operation promoting true libertarian ideas. For a limited time, experience the ancient power of Survival Shield X2. Take advantage of this unprecedented 30% off Super Detox Special at InfoWarsLife.com.
I can taste dirt in it.
God knows what's in this.
These people just sampled City of Austin tap water straight from the faucet. Next, we had them try a sample of tap water filtered through the ProPure G2.0 filtration system.
That one is better.
Tastes like nothing. Yep, I know what good water tastes like. It's good water.
Most tap water contains added substances like fluoride, chlorine, glyphosate, and many others. Studies prove that these substances are linked to an assortment of major health issues, including tooth decay, lowered IQ, and even prevent cancer.
It tastes like you're drinking out of the lake when you're drinking tap water.
The ProPure G2.0 filtration system removes these deadly substances, leaving only fresh-tasting, deliciously clean water.
Okay, this is very tasty.
It's good water.
Refreshing.
It's good.
Go to InfoWarsStore.com today and get your free wire stand with the purchase of a ProPure Big Water Filtration System. Or call 1-888-253-3139.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
We now take you live to the Central Texas Command Center in the heart of the resistance. You're listening to the Alex Jones Show.
By the way, you know the latest Snowden documents that the NSA admits are accurate is that the ISIS leader is U.S., British, Israeli intelligence officer. I mean, that's public anyways. I mean, they didn't give them Stinger missiles because they weren't working for them. People are like, well, what are you, anti-Israel? I don't know, is Israel anti-Israel funding al-Qaeda groups? See, that's the issue here, is that it's not Israel, it's not the U.S., it's criminal elements that have decided, well, we'll use any group we can to destabilize things. What, Iraq, a government that was elected, put al-Qaeda in to kill every Christian they find? This is evil stuff, folks. Let's go ahead and talk to Brian in Pennsylvania. I'm going to move quick now. Brian, go ahead.
Hey, Alex, I got some bombshell news for you.
Go ahead.
I was talking to a friend of mine who's a trucker, and we were listening, because I called him on the phone, we were listening on the CB, and they were talking about martial law sign in the back of this one guy's truck. Yeah, the other guy that was behind him, they were in a traffic jam, and they didn't believe him. So guy's like, well, we're stuck in traffic, so I'll show you. And 5 minutes later, the other guy gets on the CB, and he's like, holy crap, I don't believe it. It's actually true. There's martial law signs in the back of this guy's truck, front to back.
Yeah, I appreciate your call, Brian. I've been on the air since 1996, and I get that call about 10 times a year, and it's an urban legend. So are guillotines that are in a traffic jam wreck. The guillotines fall out the back of a truck or train. I think that's a psyop that's put out so people don't recognize real martial law when it comes down the pike. People repeat it, but it's also a seminar call to Patriot Radio. They're not going to call it martial law. They're imploding the border now. It's called Rex 84, declassified 1986. Our reporters were just down there. Secret FEMA camps being built on the border. We've been breaking national news every week on this. We proved the Border Patrol is shipping the illegals in under orders, giving them vouchers that forced the New York Times to admit it, okay, when Drudge carried our story, drudgereport.com, the Infowars.com article. So all the real stuff, the Emergency Centers Establishment Act, the Civilian Inmate Labor Camp Program, all declassified public plans to put you and your family in forced labor camps. I don't know if they're going to implement them. Looks like they're moving in that direction. You'll be at the Library of Congress, Army.mil, with the names I just gave you. But instead, other talk show hosts will follow a story like that, claim I said it, and say it's been disproven. So that's the issue. They're not going to call it martial law. They're going to call it civil emergency. And that's what the purposeful implosion of the border is about. Notice it's all happening. Gaza, the Middle East takeover, ISIS, Ukraine, China threatening Japan, North Korea, the border collapsing, the dollar being devalued, the BRICS summit. The whole world's lining up right now for a big change. And the globalists are saying, you're going to stay under what we've been doing or we're going to cause World War III. Who's up next? Richard in Oregon. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. Hey, I just wanted to touch on what the last caller said about the domestic preparation for the martial law. I'm in the Oregon Army National Guard. I'm a Staff Sergeant Medic, and I have never seen the level of preparation that we have thus far. We just purchased $1 million MASH unit city and 6 mobile chemical decontamination units in order to travel throughout the United States. And when we're on a financial drawdown right now, we've been saying bang, bang, bang instead of using bullets. And it's real stuff. And I tell my soldiers every day when I'm talking to them about what's going on and how to keep their mind right when they start telling us to load people into camps, but they just laugh at me.
Well, absolutely. So let's give folks documentation. London Guardian, 2 weeks ago. Pentagon preparing for mass civil unrest, social breakdown worldwide and in the United States. Boom. Let's go to the next article here. This is out of the AP. The cost of the American police state. Hundreds of billions have been spent to militarize our nation against terrorism threat that barely exists, because if you go to the real training, it's all for the Tea Party gun owners. It is the Vichy French takeover model. Folks, print me a Vichy French definition or encyclopedia. I want to tell people about the French collaborator government with the Nazis. It's not the Nazis, though. It's the mega banks, the globalists, who are offshore on their yachts, who run the government now, and the Homeland Security is their client Vichy takeover army. Now, Homeland Security people are the second most awake group. Military, former military, Homeland Security, then police are not our enemy. Because they hear this show and they get chills, they know it's true. And thank God I'm 40 and been doing this for 20 years and no more now. So I used to just yell and scream at the whole thing. The last 5, 6 years I've clicked that, whoa, these people, even though it's an evil institution, they are afraid and know it's real. So they're our friends on average. We need to reach out to them like the folks did with the fall of the Berlin Wall. It was when the citizens started reaching out to the Stasi and the military instead of just being scared of them and having courage, that they said, no, you're right, and stood down. We need to be hitting them with the truth and hitting them hard, because they care about their families too, folks. This is really happening. Let me just show you some more of these headlines here. War gear flows to police departments, New York Times. Battlefield, USA. American police extensively militarized, ACLU. National Police stockpile weapons of war. Marine Corps Colonel. Homeland Security building domestic arming. By the way, he's here today to do an interview after the show with us that we're going to be airing in the next few weeks. We're going to do like a documentary and show all the documents with him. So this is it, folks. This is it. This isn't a game. And if you hesitate and deny it's happening, the globalists will win. If we affect the battlefield space in the info war now, make it an info war, they'll never get to the physical war. 90% of war is propaganda now. Our propaganda is better because it's truth-based. Theirs is weak. It's lie-based. Go ahead, sir. Anything else? He's gone. All right, Joseph in North Carolina, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, I'm a Prison Planet member. I wanted to tell you, I used to be a newspaper reporter, and I'm really sensitive to coverage, how things are covered. And when you watch the way this thing has been covered, the story started out being the crash of Malaysian 17, and within a half an hour, they had changed it to the shoot down of Malaysia 17, and already had images they put up, and theme songs that were already obviously prepared ahead of time.
Yeah, no, it's just like the babies in the incubators that was a lie, and Gulf of Tonkin. It's pre-prepared. Anybody in media or anybody in advertising recognizes a rollout, pre-packaged, premeditated. Yes, sir. So that's what you think from working in the news.
They immediately started saying that they didn't know who did it. Within about 20 minutes, they said the Russian separatists did it. And then they switched and said, well, the Russians must have done it because the missile system's complex and the separatists didn't have the kind of knowledge you would need to operate the missiles. So they
tell you what, stay there. I'm going to come back to you. Don't hang up, Joseph. Then Zach, Bruce, Pete, Bob, Anonymous, and others. Toll-free number to join us. I'm going to take a bunch of calls when we come back. Toll-free number to join us, 877-789-2539, 877-789-ALEX. Give us your take straight ahead. Yeah. It's like when Dodge has a new car coming out, you can tell there's a push for it. It's a PR push. It's staged. I've always believed in nutrition and herbs. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals, sourced from powerful organic herbs, harvested around the planet, and then concentrated for maximum potency.
I just received my Male Vitality about 3 days ago, and I must say, that is good stuff.
After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic Super Male Vitality formula. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose.
I jump out of bed ready to fight these criminals every day. I look forward to waking up and taking my Super Male Vitality and getting the day started.
It's not just the Super Male Vitality. All the products in InfoWars